pace with control of this race. Here comes a run from Davey Hazard. He blocks the 10. Not going to be enough. Ryan Pace is going to win at Talladega.
Curry trying to hold off Wilson. He's done a good job so far. Wilson, one last desperate attempt to the bottom. He won't get there. Nick Curry wins at Bristol.
Coming out turn number 2, coming down the back straightaway here. Looks like he's in a class of his own right now.
Merzlak, one final time, get around the 55, big time send.
He hits the wall, he hits it, he gets the lead, but can he hang on to it? Oh my goodness, he made it to the line!
Big push down the backstretch is going to give him a good run through the corners.
Just a little bit
follow from the 1.
A little bit of contact there for second, but coming to the line, Toby Roberson's going to take home the checkered flag and victory here from the new Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Before I wrap things up here in this segment, your thoughts on the type of race we're going to see tonight? And I would have to agree.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to tonight's feature presentation of the Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series live here on JTN, presented by the fine folks at Voiles Trucking. Up here tonight, everything may be bigger in Texas. Well, our broadcast booth is not emanating from Texas here. It's just me, little old Joe here in the booth tonight for 117 laps around this 1.5 mile racetrack out here deep in the heart of Texas, outside in Fort Worth. Again, 117 laps here tonight, 1.5 miles, and it's the second one of these in a row. A lot of drivers drawing comparisons to Kansas last week when we got the opportunity to talk with them down in the garage area before the race. Going to be an exciting one here tonight once again, folks. Once again tonight, too, I'd like to remind you, if this is your first time tuning in, to hit that subscribe button. And if it's not your first time tuning in and you're back, welcome back. Don't forget to hit that like button, too. It does so much to help support us here on JTN. We cannot thank you enough, as always, for all the support that you give us. Make sure you're active in chat. I always like to talk with folks while we're broadcasting these races. While we broadcast these races, it's always fun. And tonight, would really love to see some good questions in chat that we'll try to answer as the night goes on. Qualifying currently underway. You're going to see those times start to come across the ticker at the top of your screen. A couple familiar faces right now on top of the board. But this is your Circle Beat Diecast race preview. Remember to use code JTN at checkout for free shipping on your order of $20 or $30 or more. I got so used to saying $20, $30 or more. So again, $30 or more, you get free shipping at CircleBeatDiecast.com if you use code JTN. Yeah. Welcome in. Welcome. Yes, I made an alt. There's got to be a shorter way to say that, but welcome in. Continue to grow these numbers here on JTN. We can't thank you enough, as always, for the 1,000 that we've gotten to, and we continue to see those numbers rise, and it's fantastic. Got some new things coming over in the JTN 2 market, too, so make sure you're checking those out right here. You can, they should have it linked down in the video description below, but a lot of good things over there on JTN 2 to check out, too, once we're done tonight. Alright, and that'll be very helpful, so I don't have to say, yes, I made an alt all the time, because, man, I would, yeah. Waiting for qualifying to come to its end. Can't thank folks enough again, as always, for tuning in. Texas is, this is the older version of Texas, not its current iteration with the really flat and sweeping turns 1 and 2, and then the 3 and 4 is still the same as it always, or as it has been here at Texas before the reprofile, and qualifying has come to a conclusion. So I will take you through tonight's starting lineup here, the Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series. All the cars going on track right now. Row 1 going to be made up of a couple familiar faces if you tuned into these races the last couple weeks. Going to be BSR Kilojoules in the 029 on pole with a time of 27.646 seconds. With this guy, BSR Ricky J, lining up on the outside. BSR Mike Coulong M. Coulong continues his great qualifying runs with a third place start here tonight, and Rick Craddock going to line up on the outside of row number 2. The 022 of Jason San Diego going to line up next to Herman Reese on row number 3 with BSR Terry Scott and BSR Greg Lovell on row number 4. Rounding out your top 10 tonight, the 4 of BSR Silver Bullet in 9th and the 011 of Steve Grant in 10th. Just outside the top 10 in 11th place, it's going to be the 103 of BSR Nelly and Harry Codian in 13. Starting in 13th position, speaking of, it's the 144 BSR Magoo with the 740 of Michael Moore. Moore, the last driver to take a time here tonight. Then filling out our field on row number 8, BSR Brian Voiles and BSR Monty Keller. Row 9, BSR Danny Hardy and BSR Sean. BSR Jimmy Dale, BSR Eli 114, BSR Furco, and BSR Brain Fade, rounding out your field here tonight with the Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series. A field of 22 drivers here tonight from, again, No Limits, Texas. Welcome in. And Zach, a happy belated birthday, or is today... I think it's belated, Zach. I think it's belated. And KJ also celebrated a birthday earlier this week, so a bunch of birthdays all the way around. Miss Kathy Voiles. Hopefully Brian can get another good run like he did in Dover a few weeks ago. There's that 68 car. Always good to see Voiles tuning in. It is today. See, I knew, I was waiting to tell you happy birthday for the broadcast. Just waiting to tell you. See? Look at that. Worked out. Wish old engine number 9 a very, very happy birthday. Greg Lovell in some new colors tonight in that 088 Wrangler Chevrolet. Good look there. Always like to spice up a Chevrolet tonight, too, instead of the traditional Ford Mustang that we've seen this 088 team bring into the track. Watch to see if that, wonder how that manufacturer alliance continues to go. Nah, you gotta enjoy your birthday, Zach. You gotta enjoy your birthday. I'm just chilling tonight, I'm chilling tonight. Drivers practicing coming to pit road here, too. Again, Texas, this is the older iteration of Texas, so 1 and 2, 3 and 4, very similar. Still, obviously, the entrances to the corners a little bit different, so you're going to see the drivers maybe a little bit better in one end or the other, depending on how good their car is on corner entry and exit, depending on, if they need that extra little bit with the front stretch entrance or the front stretch entrance to the off of turn 4 and into turn 1, or if they can kind of make that more abrupt turn off of turn number 2 and into turn number 3. Always some difference. Always, even at these cookie cutter tracks where they like to tell you that both sides of the racetrack are the same, there's always a little difference that you can play with. And no doubt, you're going to see that tonight. Drivers being better in one set of corners than the other. Well, Tate, SMI did have a hold of Texas, right? They always did. It's the fact that they decided to go for a reprofile when they repaved, because anytime we see a repave now, it takes so long for these tracks to not only get weathered in to where they're good and raceable, but also just drivers to kind of get accustomed to the difference in grip. Teams have to build on setups. Goodyear has to bring tires that are a little bit different to deal with higher loads at the cars because there's going to be more grip in the track. So why Texas did the whole reprofiling down in 1 and 2 to make it a lot flatter was to kind of combat that, make the racing maybe a little bit better. They did the same thing with Kentucky and didn't work with Kentucky, and now the Kentucky Speedway obviously is not on the NASCAR Cup Series schedule, but we're at good Texas tonight is what I like to say. We're at good Texas tonight, so it's always a fun show here. This is the second night of Bomb Squad Racing's 3-night Texas Showdown, or Shootout. I got the verbiage wrong there, but it's 3-night Texas Shootout. Last night with the trucks, tonight with the Cup, and then tomorrow with the BSR Xfinity Series with the Great National cars. So obviously a lot of interesting things going on here at Bomb Squad. Remember, you can go to bombsquadracing.net for more information and to find out how you can sign up to race with the boys here at BSR. Cars being pulled to the grid. We get ready to go racing here tonight from the Texas Motor Speedway. 117 laps are going to make up this race here tonight. Can go about 21 laps on a tank of fuel. To wait and see how these tires are going to hold up. That was the big concern down in the garage area among crew chiefs and drivers alike. We wait the command for the most famous words in all of motorsports.
Drivers, start your engines!
As you hear the command and these 22 Bomb Squad Racing drivers get their cars fired up, let's refresh you on our front starters. It's going to be BSR Kilojoules and BSR Ricky J, the two drivers that have been the class of the field so far this year. Starting on row number 1. Saw a great battle between the two at Kansas last week. A little bit of contact with 7 laps to go. Made it a little interesting. See if there's any hard feelings there tonight between those two. Mike Coulong and Rick Craddock going to make up row number 2 with Jason San Diego and Herman Reese in row 3. BSR Terry Scott, BSR Greg Lovell in row 4, and then BSR Silver Bullet and Steve Grant making up the rest of your top 10. Again, folks, can't thank you enough for tuning in to JTN tonight, spending some of your Thursday night with us. Know it's a action-packed sports TV night, so can't thank you enough for spending some time with me here at JTN, with Bristol, our producer. We're going to give you a show tonight with these boys in the Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series. Field makes their way through turns 3 and 4 for the final time under this pace. Before the race starts, the fans are on their feet all throughout the grandstands. Dodge Charger pace car is in. Green flag. KJ able to get out to a lead here. Ricky J sits in second. Rick Craddock 30. See Mike Coulong lost a spot there on the initial start to this race. Jason San Diego sitting in 5th. Field is strung out to start this one, folks. We're wrapped all the way through turns 1 and 2 right now. Everybody waiting, trying to figure out the setup, figure out the guys around him. San Diego getting a spot there on Coulong. 199 team is qualified very well as there's a pass for the lead. Rookie J to the inside of BSR Kilojoules, going to make the pass for the lead for the first time tonight. Move that Voiles truck in 193 to the point. Familiar faces at the front here on these cookie-cutter mile-and-a-half tracks. J, Rick Craddock on Kilojoules. Got Jason San Diego, who has had a spectacular few runs here on these mile-and-a-halves as well, sitting there in 4th. As we said, Mike Coulong running out your top 5, but starting to get some pressure from Herman Reese in the 73 behind him. Pit window is about 21 laps, Tate. 3 times wear here in the Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series. As for 3rd, San Diego goes on by. Kilojoules KJ back to the 4th spot early here tonight, slipping back. I think we saw this last year with that 029 car. Not a lot of front end of the run speed. Car kind of came to him. Interesting to see how that works, because last year we were using 2 times wear. This year using 3 times wear. Gonna watch how the strategies change a little bit if you go back and compare this race to its predecessor last year. Continue to watch the battle out in front. Everyone else stabilizing throughout the field, though. Get a quick zoom through. Herman Reese starting to line up the 199 for a pass. I'm starting to poke the nose out down the back straightaway. Car looks a little bit better on corner exit right now. Does that 73 maybe compared to those other cars? And tire save going to be something that's important here tonight too. Again, a lot of drivers, yeah, we can make it on 21 on fuel, but we're kind of cutting it close. Probably looking at another 5 stopper here tonight too. So playing with fire tonight. If you kind of go short on those pit numbers, you can't go too short on them. You get about 3 laps buffer since it's 117 instead of 120. You get a 3-lap buffer there, and then you get the extra about 5 laps if you can go to 21. Always like to work these NR races backwards. Smoke on the backstretch. It's Eli in the 114. Well, we're kind of static right now. Let's see if we can't get you that replay. I am surprised this did not bring out a caution, folks. The car's all up in front. Gonna be contact there. 14 gonna go around into the wall. I guess no one behind, so no caution. But for BSR Eli, that's gonna be a heartbreaker. Take him out of contention here early on in this race. Back live, Ricky J still your leader, has extended his lead to about 3, maybe call it 4 car lengths. I call it 3. On Rick Craddock. Craddock starting to close the gap back in that 22 ski machine. I'm back. Car to the inside. That's Nelly making a pass on BSR Silver Bullet. Gonna complete that one. Behind them, 13 to the inside of the 011. Cody by Steve Grant for the spot. Danny Hardy, who was fastest in happy hour too, has kind of been scratching and clawing his way to the front of the field here tonight. Gonna run on this 011 car, and we're about halfway through a run too, so driver is well aware of how close the fuel mileage is going to be here tonight, and getting a good sense of what the tire fall off is going to be. Herman Reese on by Jason San Diego. This is what we saw from this 22 car last week. About 11 laps into the run, really fell off a cliff. Having the same issue here tonight. Kind of combated that by short pitting. Don't know if that's going to be the right strategy here at Texas. But it did work last week. Gave the 22 team... Never mind, it didn't work. Finished 15th last week. So going to have to try to make up from that, because I had a really fast car last week in Kansas and fell back because of the short pitting. So probably not wanting to do that again here tonight. But right now, that 22 falling back on as the tires kind of go away there. See, Kilojewel starting to get the car under him. This again is where this 029 car starts to excel about halfway through a run. But we've seen all year, folks. KJ has, of course, been the dominant driver, especially when it comes to the win column. Maybe not every race. Definitely stolen a couple. I think last week probably comes to mind, only leading 9 laps compared to Ricky J's 81. But nonetheless has been the class of the field here from the start of the year all the way back. 22 car around on the back straightaway. Noses it into the inside wall. It's Jason San Diego. We're under caution for the first time tonight. All right, see what happened here, folks. 22 is down a tire now. Let's see. Car just goes around on him. Does a good job of saving it, not spinning, but then noses it into the wall. Obviously, the flat tire from the skid. But a self-spin rings out caution number 1 with the 22. Or 22, Jason San Diego. Gotta be careful riding around here on a flat, too. Ricky J gonna be the first car down the pit lane tonight. Everyone gonna be coming to come get 4 fresh Goodyears and some Sunoco race fuel. 38 gonna stay out. That's BSR Sean gonna try to lead a lap here. Should be able to do it pretty handedly. Freightliner Dodge. Best looking paint scheme on track in my humble opinion. But everyone coming on down here. Give me 4 Mr. Feelgoods. KJ overshoots the pit there. That's going to be costly. Probably not going to have a chance at winning the race off of the pit lane, despite the number 1 pit box. Careful with this 22 is going to be coming into his box as the 73 is going to be trying to leave. Job there. KJ actually going to gain a spot on pit lane. Going to get on by that 22. Get to restart on the front row for this first restart of the night. Maybe he didn't beat him. Where did this 088 get this damage? Try to find that for you folks, because that is sufficient damage to the 088. Okay, gonna be trying to make a pass here on the 740. Coming off the corner, this is lap 5. Car's gonna get loose on him. Broadside the inside wall. It happens, right? Gonna be on pit lane. It's Greg Lovell. It's our Furco staying out right now. Decent, like, indeed. Zach, I think the question will remain, because it didn't seem like Greg had the same speed that we've seen. Looks like they got most of it out, though. Hasn't had the speed here tonight. Just through practice, qualifying, and now kind of being out back in the field. Not the speed that I think we're used to. Seen with that 088 this year. And qualified 8th, and that's saying something, right? Oh, don't have the speed when you qualify 8th, but... Keith, those are the comments I need in my life. That is... The pit window is the estimated distance till needing to refuel. That is correct. That is correct. All right, getting ready for the restart. Ricky J, Kilojoules, row 1, Rick Craddock, Mike Coulong, Herman Reese, your top 5. With the restart coming to lap 20 of 117. Only go back green. NASCAR gonna make the hard left turn down the pit lane. Ricky J with control. And we're back underway here from Texas. Wheel spin out of the 73 further on back. Well, 03, 103 to get on by. Herman Reese falling back 4 spots here on the restart after the wheel spin. Trying to get back going. Ricky J, though, still out in front. Couple car lengths over KJ there. Had to think that 22, the speed he had early on, going to be able to keep up with these two. If not past that 029. We know KJ's car is not the best on the short run. Caution is out. 740, Michael Moore around. Get you a replay of what happened here. What sent the 740 into the outside wall. It looks like it might be... I don't think there doesn't, no contact, just goes around on him. Burko and Magoo all doing good jobs to avoid him. That's going to bring out caution number 2 on the night. One more look at it. What are you going to do? Harmless little spin there for the 740 team. Damage doesn't look too bad on this race car either. So we go back live. This car's towards the back of the field, going to come down the pit lane. Brian Voiles leading them. Herman Reese also coming down. There's a car that was just up inside the top 10. Folks, would like to remind you that we got an action-packed week coming up. We're broadcasting not only Monday, not only Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We're also broadcasting this upcoming Saturday and the following Saturday. Going to be a busy week for us here on JTN. That's why you got to make sure you're subscribed. First up, going to be the Shetner Customs Truck Series from the Bristol Motor Speedway this Saturday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time start for that one. Then it's the Mondays of Thunder Cup Series season finale from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, Monday, May 23rd, 9 p.m. Eastern start for that one. Finally, as of our next 3 up, of course, everyone's favorite, the Maverick Cup Series from Road America. Coverage beginning 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, Tuesday, May 24th. Those are your next 3 races upcoming here on JTN. And of course, they're live right here only on JTN, presented by our friends at TWB Technology. Did that all out of whack, but nonetheless, got you the information. A bunch of great races coming up. I know the Mondays of Thunder boys tuning in. Yeah, I will probably be croaking, Kathy. I will be gone. It's gonna be a fun week for Bristol too behind the cameras. Gonna be working overtime. We're gonna have fun with it. Like these, rather have the action-packed weeks than the no races weeks. With that being said, though, folks, now more than ever, making sure you head on over, making sure you're hitting that subscribe button, you're clicking like, if you're in the market maybe for some new t-shirts, want to help rep the brand, heading over to the JTN merch store. It's I appreciate it so much. It means a lot to me seeing folks, gotten pictures with people with their JTN merch on. That is always so cool. Makes me really proud of the brand that not only I, but all the guys that I work with here at JTN, we've been able to build, and it's been a fantastic ride here over these first 2 years and a month now. We're going to continue to keep on keeping on and keep building. Keep some great content coming for you folks at home. So make sure you're hitting that subscribe button. You click like on all the videos. It's so appreciated. Keith's got the right idea. You can also check out JTN 2. It's new in 2022. Kind of doing some new content over there too. It's more fun videos, I would like to say, kind of. More fun in the fact that they're not as structured, maybe, as these videos here. The live streams obviously have to be. Kind of talking about racing in general. Of course, we always have the Fake Racers podcast over there on JTN 2. We're doing some different race highlight breakdown videos from our live streams too, and some YouTube shorts and stuff. So you can head on over to JTN 2. You can see a lot of that stuff. I had one come out this week about Drew Dollar and Billy Venturini. Think it's a good one. You should go check it out. Also, talked about Ty Gibbs at Talladega, Ross Chastain's Talladega win. A lot of Talladega in there. And then we talked about Kyle Busch at Darlington, too. So, wondering what the big all-star moment's going to be for this week for us to break down. It's going to be fun. Thank you, Tate. I appreciate that. Those videos are a little, harder is probably the right word in terms of kind of understanding what will come across the right way and what won't. And also, my sense of comedy is very dry. So it's a very acquired taste. So you'll hear me chuckle and you probably won't laugh, but then I'll say something that you'll be laughing your keister off, and I don't think I'd laugh at it. Very dry sense of humor here. It's a very dry night here in Texas. Ricky J with control here for the restart. Kilojoule's going to be there in second. Rick Craddock, Mike Coulong, and Nelly, your top 5. And don't look now, that 03 Hardy's machine to Danny Hardy sitting back there in 6th. Pace car is in. Green flag, we're back underway here from Texas. 22, there's the wheel spin we talked about. Into the grass goes Craddock. He's around, we're wrecking up here. Car flipping over, it's Harry Cody, and there's a lot going on here, folks. Caution number 3 is out. Not as soon as I could change the flag in the score bug. Do we have another caution? This one might just be a product of that really funky restart there. Car's checking up. Looks like 088 going to get into the back of the 13. It's going to send Harry for a spin. Going to come back up the track contact. Air's going to flip him. 68 got to get a bump from behind 33 to the 088. This starts up here with the 22, and not like in terms of starting the incident, but you see this 22, he's going to go off into the grass, right? That's what kind of checks up the 103, the 4, 13. 13 gets run into from the 088, Greg Lovell. And it's just a melee from there. I mean, you can see these are those chain reaction tracks. You can just kind of see brewing. This is also where I wish I had telestrator, but you see the 22 front of your screen. He's going off your screen. You see the 44, 103, or 4 and 103 checking up. 088 checks up. Good job there by Herman Reese to get on through and that whole inside line. Cars on the outside though, nowhere to go. Getting a lot of replays for you here. So, let's go on board first with Greg Lovell sitting here. Here's the restart. See, they're checking up. Gotta love them chain reaction racks. Now I'm bored with the 73. 22's already off in the grass. Leaders came down the pit lane while we were looking at replays. Jules and Ricky J came on down. Steve Grant, Herman Reese, Jason San Diego staying out. Herman Reese and Steve Grant. Oh no! 029. Oh no. Oh no. That's one way to take out competition? That has Gabe Crash written all over it, or game tab alt tabbing written all over it. Get a replay of it. Look like he's picking the pace back up. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't think that was intentional, but that's like a scene out of Cars there with the car on top. Oh man. I'm bored with KJ. Can't pick it up when things go haywire. He's picking up throttle there. Making sure he paid for that undercarriage wash, right? Tate, that is a low blow. Both have brought the cars down pit road, obviously, to repair the damage. AJ probably is gonna have to start at the back here too, no doubt. I don't know how much consolation that is to Ricky J, obviously, with the majority of the damage there on that 193. Oh, we're getting ready to go back green. Jason San Diego, BSR Furco on row number 1, then Mike Coulong, Danny Hardy, Nelly and Terry Scott, BSR Sean, and BSR Silver Bullet, your top 8 with Monty Keller, BSR Eli, and the 114 sitting in 10th. Restart coming to lap 30 of 117 here tonight from Texas. Base car is in. And we're back underway. Green flag. Nice calm restart from everyone there on the bottom that time. Everyone gets away nice and clean. 199 up into second. Furco falling back in this 19. Danny Hardy now to the inside of the 19. 3 wide further on back. Harry Cody and on the bottom. BSR Silver Bullet. It's our Terry Scott. Get things sorted out down into turn 3. Next, Steve Grant. Herman Reese coming on through. 740 into the outside wall. We're shuffling at the back of the pack. That was Brian Voiles on by. Ricky J probably going to try to do the same. Get by this 33. Damage on the roof of that car. That's how you know it's permanent damage right now in that 193. Can't buff it out. Back up front though. Jason San Diego with the lead. Mike Coulong in second. BSR Nelly. BSR Danny Hardy. And BSR Sean, your top 5 now as the 38 has moved up into that spot. 19 at Furco. I don't think Furco wants to be up here just yet. Monty Keller, Harry Codian going on by. But right now is the Jason San Diego show. 022 up in front of the field. Job keeping that car pointed in the right direction. So we're under caution. Oh, heavy damage, Brian Voiles. Replay of the incident. 088 gets loose. Tries to catch it. 68 gets into him. And Voiles with the heavier damage there. Not the night the Voiles trucking team was looking for. Thank God for safer barriers. Although I don't think there are any here, never mind. Oh man, yeah, there aren't. Wonderful. No limits. I'm bored with Brian through this. Will's trucking on board. As you see, Greg gets loose. I can't check up in time. That's kind of one of those wrong place, wrong time incidents there with the 68. On board with KJ through this. The incident up ahead. But everyone taking the opportunity to come down the pit lane. Everyone coming down pit lane. Couple 2-tire stops, though, out in front of the field. The 199 and the 22. I believe the 66 also took 2. That one definitely will hurt. Ryan's down there on pit lane, though. Looks like they got most of the damage worked out on the nose. You can still kind of see where it's a little bent up, out of shape. Yes, it will. Indeed, Cappy, indeed. So Rick Craddock out in front. BSR Mike Coulong there in second. BSR Terry Scott, BSR Nelly, and BSR Danny Hardy, your top 5. Folks, would like to remind you, you can head on over now to the JTN merch store, pick yourself up some JTN race car merch and much, much more. We have t-shirts, all different kinds of t-shirts up there with not only our logo, but some other cool designs. So go check them out. JTN merch store got different driver merch up there for some of the drivers that we've partnered with to date. So yeah, go check it out. JTN merch store. We got it linked down in the video description below. Rick Craddock out in front, coming off of an 8th place finish last week in Kansas. Trying to get some momentum building with this 22 team. Mike Coulon, we've talked with him a couple times this year, finished 6th last week. 199's had a lot of speed here. Terry Scott running 3rd. It had a 7th place run, so kind of the back half of our top 10 from last week, now the front half of our top 10 this week. Just shows you the parity here in the Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series. Craddock going to have control for the restart, coming to lap 37 of 117. Once we finish that one, it will be 80 laps to go tonight from the Texas Motor Speedway. Alright, pace car going to make the hard left turn down the pit lane. Craddock with control for the restart. Green flag, we're back underway. Good jump there on the outside with the 199 of Coulon. Also going to allow Nelly to get on by. Again, 2 tires on the 22 and 199 and the 66 as well. So those cars going to be at a little bit of a disadvantage here until those tires get back to equilibrium. Danny Hardy to the inside of Jason San Diego for the 5th spot. Hardy again really fast. Last night in the trucks race too here. 03 team seems to have it down when it comes to Texas Motor Speedway this week. Out in front though, it's Mike Coulon. Nelly closing the gap to that 199. Trying to make a pass for the lead. Has a hungry cat. Rick Craddock right behind him. Sitting there in 3rd. Top 3 all underneath a blanket. Field once again getting strung out early on in a run here at Texas. Everyone minding their P's and Q's. You really see that transition off of turn number 4. See how uneven it is from that camera there. Good camera there at the start-finish line. A little dip in the track. Nelly looks to the inside. Battle for the lead is on. Gonna back off there. Down into 3. Gave at Velocity Garage 199 a break, although the 103 gaining quickly on corner exit here down the front straightaway. Gonna look to the inside. Nelly on the bottom. Mike Coulon on the outside. Coming through some smoke. We're still green. Nelly moves it to the point for the first time. 22 now going to go on by the 199. You can't get stuck in that outside if you're Mike Coulon. Going to have to try to hold off this 66. Does a good job. Gets back down in front of him. Stems the bleeding for a second. The field going to start to close back in together, but Nelly out in front of the field, doing a good job in that Medicine Chest Pharmacy Chevrolet. Good looking blue and white paint scheme on that car with a big old polar bear on the side. Looks like the 68 would appear to have taken it behind the wall. As first car out of this race, BSR Brian Voiles. Nelly out in front by about 3 car lengths over Rick Craddock. Battle further on back. BSR Sean to the inside of Jason San Diego for the spot. Gonna get it. Now gonna look to the inside of Harry Cody and go for a twofer. Through 1 and 2, not able to get the positioning down the back. Further on back, Herman Reese to the inside of Monty Keller for a spot. Cadillac trying to come back to the front of the field. Also has KJ right behind him in that 029. I'm going to take a step away for just a second here. Might have a special guest joining us in the booth in just a moment, so stay tuned right here to JTN. Coming back here on JTN. Unfortunate end to the night for this driver, but he's joining us up here in the booth. Driver number 68, BSR Brian Voiles. Brian, I know it's not the race you were looking for, and a very unfortunate crash down there in turns 3 and 4.
Yeah, it happens, man. It just one of those nights. Got caught up in a couple early wrecks, and then that last little wreck down there in 3 and 4, and Greg got sideways in front of me, and we got tangled up. That pretty much put an end to the car. The handling was gone. Even down the straightaway, it was so squirrely you couldn't hardly hang on to it.
What do you think went into that tonight? Like, it seems like a lot of these drivers are on edge, especially early on in the run. We saw the restarts, a lot of spinning of the tires for cars, especially on the inside. What kind of went into that?
Man, I don't know. It's weird. This track tonight, it's almost, it really feels like you're on ice out there. Mm-hmm. I don't know what the deal is. I know they had a lot of rain through there this week and stuff, and it's a green racetrack, but man, it sure is slick out there.
Well, a slick racetrack, sometimes it makes for good racing, but not always the thing the drivers like. I think you guys probably like a little bit of rubber down on the track, but right now we're watching Nelly doing a good job in this 103 car. What have you seen out of this 103 team here tonight? Because starting, mid-pack, I think that's kind of Nelly's, that's his thing here in the Cup Series. Starts about mid-pack and gradually makes his way towards the front, now out in front of the field here, about halfway through, which I think might put him ahead of schedule in this race.
Yeah, Nelly's always good here at Texas. At most of the tracks he's real good at, but he's always done real good and had real good finishes here in the past and even won a few, so... it's nothing new for Nelly to be out front. It is a little bit early. He usually waits toward the end of it, but looks like things has changed up a little bit tonight for him. But he's always got a real strong car, and he's always a real threat to win here at this track.
Come along to the inside of Rick Craddock for position. Seeing if that Velocity Garage Chevrolet can go on by the 22. Will make the pass there at the start-finish line is clear. Another guy that I've been kind of surprised by, not in the speed in the car whatsoever, because I know he's a great driver, great competitor, always builds a really good setup too, is Danny Hardy in this 03. It's kind of taken him some time to get up here to the front of the field. We saw KJ and Ricky J obviously have whatever spat they had. They're under caution, but... Yeah,
KJ actually, his screen went blank on him. He just lost everything.
Nonetheless, it shook up the front of the field, and Danny kind of taking advantage of it now, running there in fourth and hunting these leaders down. We saw a really fast car in happy hour, but not the same speed in that 03 to start this race. Is that kind of... do you think that's just Danny as a driver? I know he's maybe a little more conservative early on in these races, at least the ones I've been in with him.
Danny's usually long run. He most time all his stuff set up for long runs, and we just hadn't really had a lot of green flag laps for him to actually, the way he likes to drive and his setup, to really come in and show up strong. He's usually real good towards the end of a run, and I got a feeling before it's all over with, you'll see him up front challenging for a win.
Up front, though, it is the Nelly show. I should have asked. I know you got your PR people up here. They always do a great job, but are you staying up here? Can I get you up here?
Yeah,
is that
I'm here, man.
okay? Let's go. Bristol, Bristol. He sends out all these texts and stuff to your PR people, but what I've been told is that the text messages always don't get out to the drivers. And so those pesky PR people, they just want you, they don't want you to do anything for us. And why is that?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I was just sitting here watching the races, and my wife walked up and said, if you can't drive a race car no better than that, maybe you need to go up there and see if Joe will let you at least talk to him.
Seeing pit stops here for the first time. I'm always a pleasure to have Brian up here in the booth, especially here with these Bomb Squad boys. Knows him like the back of his hand. See Nelly, Danny's on down. Saw Miss Jimmy Dale coming in that 33 down the pit lane. A little bit early though for these pit stops, a little bit early for these pit stops right now.
Well, some of them stayed out there under that last caution, a lap or two, so they're going to be a couple laps. The guys that come in and make some pit stops there at the end. But like I said, man, it's slick out there. It is really slick out there, and they probably want tires much more than they want anything else.
I see the rest of
Danny Hardy beats Nelly off.
03 off the pit lane first. He came down in fourth, so we'll see how this kind of cycles out. The rest of the field on the pit lane now. See your guy Ricky J down there. KJ's down. And Reese as well. Looks like the 199 going to be able to win the race off pit lane.
Nelly's going back in. He must have got caught speeding.
Now that's what we get for saying he runs a real conservative early race, and then what does he do the first time he gets a chance to make a green flag pit stop tonight? He speeds.
Yep. He's going back in, having to make a drive-through.
That's going to
hurt for him because, man, I know he's wanting to win tonight, but, he's still got a chance. There's still a lot of laps left.
Yeah, now going to have to really hope for a caution, though, right, to get that lap back. 'Cause
yeah, well, we're halfway through the race, so, he started towards the back and got up there about halfway, so, he's still got time.
Guy that's going to be out in front once things cycle through, it's Danny Hardy in this 03 car. Hasn't gotten to Nelly yet, so Nelly, I believe, is still going to be on the lead lap.
Yes.
The last car on the lead lap. Just out in front, out the windshield of Danny Hardy here in the 03. Once again, everything cycles through. So first wave of green flag pit stops, pretty successful, though. No crashes. Always good to see. A lot of cars came down pit lane at once. I know that's got to make the clubhouse pretty proud.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we like him green flag pit stops. It's just... unfortunately, you don't always get them, but man, real NASCAR, those guys, they tear up a lot more stuff than we can.
I was gonna say that's such a hard skill to master in sim racing. It feels like, especially here in a lot of these NR leagues, where it seems like you got one or two guys, and that's not the case here because I don't believe that at all. But sometimes you got one or two guys that maybe kind of blow off the pit stop practice, and you see them really struggle coming to pit lane. Everyone takes the happy hour very seriously here at Bomb Squad, and I think that's always something. I don't think I've ever complimented the league on that, but should be complimented on that because sometimes those happy hour sessions are very hard to take seriously.
Oh yeah, There's a lot of guys that go out and just use happy hour or even practice. We open practice up about an hour and a half before the race. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of guys that come in and run 3 or 4 or 5 laps and then just, work on pit stops, trying to find out where that mark is, where they actually need to start slowing down, gearing down, so they can make good pit stops. all these guys been running together long enough. You know, when we're pitting, we know about how each other pits. So it's kind of, you know, it kind of just flows in there whenever we come in there for a pit stop. Usually when we have our big races, you know, we got some new guys that come in that they hadn't pit with us much, or we hadn't pit with them much, and your braking points are different, and that's usually where you see a lot of the problems on pitting, especially with the crowd.
And especially here where the entry to pit lane, you know, you're right on the racetrack and then you're off of it right in a split second. So, again, good job there in that first green flag pit cycle by all these drivers. We're watching the battle for second start to heat up. Mike Coulong in the 199. And old BSR Kilojoules, points leader, sitting there in third. KJ's just been so impressive this year.
Oh, yeah.
All the wins. How hard is that to do?
It's hard. And this bunch, yeah, I'm telling you right now. KJ's one of them guys. He's a hero or a zero. And but tonight's unfortunate for him and Ricky J up there with that incident with his monitor blanking out on him. But KJ's always strong at all these tracks. And he is focused. He wants to win the championship this year. So he is really focused on trying to do the best he can, get good finishes and wins.
I'm just waiting right now in that 029. That incident, and I think there's been a couple incidents now between the 029 and the 193, and I'm up here in the booth. I like to stir the pot a little bit when I'm up here, Brian. Tell me when to stop if I need to, but it seems like Ricky J's kind of been on the short end of the stick most of the time, these incidents this year. Think about the contact last week at Kansas that kind of sent the 193 off into the grass, incidental, and I think Ricky he took blame for that. But there was also, I think, Las Vegas got really aggressive, or maybe it was California, one of those West Coast swing races. 193, your boy's been on the short end of the stick here early on in the year. What do you tell him?
I just calm down and ride your race, man. You know, it's just one of them things. Sometimes you're the bug, sometimes you're the windshield, and just unfortunate. A lot of these incidents lately, Ricky J's been the bug.
Has not been the year the two-time defending series champ has been looking for.
It's not, but you know what? It's good that, you know, he's got competition up there now, and there's several other guys that could run, but him and Ricky J and KJ are probably the two most aggressive drivers, I want to say, that we have in this league, and it shows because they're always up front. They're driving hard, you know, they're pushing the cars to the limits, and our league, other than, you know, Ricky J's probably one of the youngest. Well, he is the youngest guy in our league, but he's a young rookie coming up to keep the sport alive for us for years to come. But most of us guys, man, we're up there in our 50s and 60s. We even got guys in our 70s out here racing. So, you know, we're an old seasoned bunch, and we just like to get out there and have fun, make laps, and we're just not as aggressive as these young guys, and it's just more or less we're just getting there and hang out, have a good time, talk, joke, kid around and stuff, and the racing's just the extra part of it for us.
Folks, I think that's what we play in the commercial for Bomb Squad Racing. Remember, got it linked down in the video description, bombsquadracing.net to find out more. It is a really good group here. Every time we come in for these races, I always try to say hi and stuff, but it's always fun to like sit there and listen to the conversations you as drivers have, and it borders sometimes on serious and lackadaisical, but always a helping hand there too. It seems like in practice, especially with what should I do if my car's doing this? What more can I do better? What can I do? Look at my lap, or all these different things that you can kind of do to help each other, and it's always really cool to see, especially with a league that's so tightly knit, but also really receptive of newer drivers.
Oh yeah, we enjoy racing. We enjoy racing with anybody, anywhere, and if we see somebody comes in wants to race with them, they're struggling, well.
I think I heard insider information coming through there.
Yeah, I got Ricky J's over on our other channel coming across the radio. I had to turn it down. But no, we help anybody comes in. We see them struggling, needing some help. We'll get them with a setup, help them adjust it, because there's a lot of guys that come in here from fixed setup leagues, you know. And us being an open league racing, everybody's driving style is different. But that's what's so nice about running open setups is you might not have the speed that some of the other guys have, but you got to run your car real loose to have that speed. But you got to be able to control it, you know, throughout the whole run. But if you settle your car down and get it drivable and comfortable, then you know, you can be up towards the front of it just by being able to stay clean and controlling your car throughout the race.
Coming up on our second set of green flag pit stops here. The next 5 or so laps, going to have everyone down on pit lane. Got to do another good pit stop here. If you're these leaders, see KJ has made his way up into second, past the 199. Craddock has also gotten into this battle in that 22. These drivers all starting to come together a little bit. Keep our eyes, though, on our leader. See, Nelly has kind of pulled a little bit of a gap there to Danny Hardy, too, so that's probably a very welcome sign for that 103 team.
Yeah, he's. I guarantee he's up on that wheel. He don't want to go a lap down, so he's pushing it for all he's got.
You don't want to be at the back of the pack if you get that restart, right? Like, that's...
No, he is. He is one driver, I promise you, hoping for a yellow flag. But he has stretched it on out. He's pulled on away from Danny, so he's got a good car. It's just unfortunate he got caught speeding down there on that last pit stop.
What kind of, if you're Danny right now and you know, you're out in front, are you thinking adjustments? Are you thinking, what can I do better behind the wheel right now, coming into this, what should be the second to last pit stop of the night? What are you thinking? Are you thinking adjustments with the car? Or?
I honestly, I don't think Danny, as he's coming in the pit right now, Danny's probably got his car, I just about bet dialed where he wants it to be. And it's showing out there on the track. I mean, he's strong and he's making good, smooth, fast laps. So I doubt he needs any adjustment. He just needs to keep making laps, you know, and getting in that groove. But with Danny, he's been through a lot here the last several years, and we are so fortunate and lucky to have Danny still out here racing with us. I mean, it's been a blessing for what he's been through, and to be out here competing with us still yet, and leading races, and you know, we all think the world of Danny Hardy. I mean, he's like a brother to all of us, and we're just so fortunate that we're still able to be out here and enjoy his company.
Well, he won a couple of those races, those special events too at the start of the year, so you know, he's obviously still got it, right? Like, that's always good to see. And
you go back 10 years or so ago, and Danny Hardy would be one of the cars up front every week. He'd be one of the guys that come in and serve it. Oh Lord, Danny Hardy's here, so we're racing for second now.
See, KJ has come down the pit lane. I have to watch to see if that 03 got a speeding penalty. Really smoked the tires coming to pit lane. Start to cycle through. 199 coming off the pit road down the back.
Yep. Well, it looks like they come out about where they went in on as far as the gap between Nelly and Danny. So they hit their pit stops, pretty much nailed them right on. Got one in the grass there coming in.
Looks like 22 a Craddock. Not the first time he's been in the grass tonight.
No, he's no stranger to the grass, that's sure.
See how things shape out for the 22 team, though. Watching Danny Hardy, who again should cycle through to beat our.
Nelly just hit the wall there in the tri-oval.
Car doesn't look too bad.
No, he scraped her a little bit.
Rubbed a little speed off, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Not a good stop there for the 38. Has lost a lot of time. BSR Sean gonna be falling into the clutches. Danny Hardy. AJ sits second. And I believe the 199 is third. That's correct. I think the 66 is a lap down. I love timing and scoring, you know? Such a fun thing to hope that's right.
And these guys are having fun out there now, making some laps, get some green flag pit stops in. You know, this is the thing that we're really after right here.
Mm-hmm. And that's enjoyable as a driver, right? Like, being able to just run your race, you know, get these laps in right now. Maybe you get that late caution that jumbles everything up, makes it exciting for us up here in the booth and the fans at home. But if you're a driver, you like racing the racetrack and like the challenge of trying to pull away from a guy. Or if you're the guy behind, like we see KJ is absolutely pulled in on the 03 right now. Run down the guy in front of you. The battle for the lead heats up here, coming off of turn number 2. KJ going to look to the inside. Danny Hardy, see Magoo coming off pit lane, going to step aside, let that battle figure itself out, and it does. Put BSR Kilojoules back to the point.
Yeah, it didn't take KJ long to get back up there. He's always strong.
I know that entire team was very disappointed to not be in the race last night, but said they're going to make up for it tonight, and well, I told him let someone else win, and hopefully he does before the night's over. But has a strong car once again. Has that like chrome illusion car too, where it shifts the colors, which is really cool. There you see it. Orange.
Yep.
Like Danny's down on pit lane. This will be an unscheduled stop. Wonder why Danny's on pit lane.
I don't know.
That is peculiar. I know time flies when you're having fun, but I didn't think 20 laps flew by.
No, I don't know. I mean, because Nellie's still out there making laps, so they were together there. Something must have happened today. Oh, we got wrecked. Somebody hit the wall there.
Like 13 slow.
Oh, yeah, they come out of the corner, looked like they got loose and then smacked the wall coming out of turn 4.
Get a replay of that. Cody in the M4S Installations Chevrolet. Yeah, looks like he did that overcorrect, right? Overcorrected it back right when it felt it getting loose and headed into the outside wall. That is the toughest thing in racing. Because that...
Oh, it is.
Especially, like, when you do it, you feel so bad about doing it. Too, you know? Like, oh, KJ's into the wall. We're all hitting the wall.
Like a track going through a heat cycle or something there. It's starting to get slick again.
Randall writes in short pitted. I don't know, Randall, because he should have been able to make it to lap 96, 97. You can get 21 on fuel. We'll have to wait and see, but I don't know if that's it. We'll see what lap these guys get to.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to Danny. I mean, it's something he might have had to go in the pits for some other reason, you know.
Yeah. Maybe could have... Wait, I mean, his pace dropped off a cliff there, right? KJ ran him down in like 2 or 3 laps, and
I didn't notice on watching the whole run if he had got loose and, you know, maybe locked the tires up or something, tried to save it and had to pit because of his tires.
that's the only thing I can think of.
You know, that could be possible that he got loose in a corner or something and had to lock it down and abused his tires, and he just had to go in and get a new set of tires, maybe. Well, it has sure been some up and downs tonight as far as cars in the back and being in the front. It seemed like your leaders is something's always happening and they're going to the back again.
All about who's going to have that mistake last, right?
That's it.
And field is strung out right now. It's a 20-second gap back to 10th place from the leader. So KJ putting on a blistering pace right now. And all by his lonesome.
Now 10th, 11th, 12th back here with Silver Bullet, Ricky J, and Steve Grant back here.
Battle going on
Tighten
there.
up. Yeah, look like Ricky J's off pace a little bit because Silver Bullet went on by him and kind of pulling out away from him. So I know in that incident with KJ earlier that they had to shut Ricky J's motor off on his pit stop. So he is down on power a little bit.
That's always the surest sign that you got some motor damage from an incident, right?
Yeah.
Pontiac Steve Grant coming up behind him. Going to get to the inside, make a pass. It also helps. I think he's got a little roof damage. So
Yeah.
it's never good.
Danny Hardy making his way back up through there.
He's got a fast car.
Yeah, he just made the pass on Monty Keller, and yeah, he's stepping out, fixing to make another, give him another Greg Lovell there. He's passing. But now he did just come out of pits, not too long ago, so he's got fresher tires than these guys.
It's a good illustration of that difference in tires, right? I mean,
Oh yeah,
a lot of times we think tire wear, we think Atlanta, Darlington, but tonight, all of these, closer to stock tracks, because of course tonight it's Texas SBP, Safer Barrier Project Texas, or is it in-game Texas?
this is the original game track.
See, sometimes I'm just a silly goose. So in-game Texas, all the in-game tracks, super duper high tire wear, compared to a lot of the newer tracks that are a little more gripped up and whatnot to kind of make things a little more modern with lap times. So these drivers definitely having to work tonight. I think we've seen that.
We like to run the old track. We like to run the slick tracks, a lot of tire wear and stuff, I know they got a lot of new tracks out that you just sit there and a lot of them you just almost hold it on the floor all the way around like a super speedway. And to us, that's just not racing. You need to be able to manage your throttle and your tires and stuff. And the guys who do that, you'll see them up toward the front, and it just for us, it's just a lot more fun than just getting out there and holding it on the floor all the way around.
Herman Reese, the first driver on the pit lane, was running third. So trying to short pit a little bit to close the gap. Up to KJ and Lake Coulong. The 199 I'm trying to pit here before the 029, and he's going to do that. Just don't speed. That's all the crew chief's asking.
Yeah, and it is tough to get down to 45 mile an hour and hold it down all the way through there after running 180 plus out there.
Always helps, though, when you got a little bit of clean racetrack behind you. It gives you a little extra comfort, right?
Oh, yeah. It's always nice when it's spread out. You're not all together there coming in. You just pay attention and try not to get too much too quick going in there because it's just as slick getting on pit lane as it is out there on that track, I can promise you.
BSR Kilojoules, our leader, now down on the pit lane. Top three have all now been on pit road for the final time tonight. KJ, you just don't even make a small mistake, right? You got plenty of time you can give up to not make that mistake. Jason San Diego should be your current leader. Just 22. Gonna come down the pit lane.
Now KJ coming out.
See where he cycles through. Like Nelly's going to be able to get by and stay on the lead lap, but KJ Has a decent gap back to second and third. Comes Mike Coulong there in that purple car, and then that red car right behind him, that Cadillac 73 of Herman Reese. Those will be your drivers cycling out as the top three. Danny Hardy will probably be the leader for a few laps until he has to come down the pit lane, or if we get a caution. It's always in the sticker book. After the last couple of weeks with, passes for the lead in the last 10 laps, do you think these drivers maybe want a little bit of a break from that craziness that we've seen?
They just take it however it comes. It don't matter if it's spread out. If it's spread out, if it's all tight, we just take her as she comes.
Well, KJ is your almost leader. Danny Hardy's still out in front again. 03 probably going to go as long as he can, hope for caution. But going to get eaten up here by new tires. Silver Bullet going to go on by here in the 4. Get a lap back. Green flag pit stops are fun to watch. Tate, I agree with you there. As here's going to be the pass for the lead. KJ going to blow on by.
Yeah, Danny's tires are showing now, so all these guys coming out got 2, 3, 4 laps on their fresh tires, and they're just getting into their tires is just right. Danny goes into pit road, so he knew it was time to pit.
Closest battle right now in the top 5 is this the battle for second. 199 and 73 battling for that spot. BSR Terry Scott right behind him. That 66, not the night they were looking for after a couple top 10s the last few weeks. Coming to line this time for kilojoules, he's going to see the second most magical thing you can see in motorsports. It's 10 fingers for the 10 laps to go. It's time for your TWB10 to go. Head on over now because, well, it's summertime and you might need some new outdoor lighting. You can head on over now to GardenLightsDirect.com because from porches to patios to more, for all those outdoor lighting needs, they have you covered. Again, that's GardenLightsDirect.com here on your TWB10 to go.
Yeah, KJ's got it in the bag. All he got to do is just sit there and ride behind them guys, use their draft, not burning stuff up, and he's got a big enough gap back to second back here now that he ain't got no problems, nothing to worry about.
As a full-time commentator, I am not at liberty to say that. Because then I would get roasted for the commentator's jakes, so I will let you say it. If it happens, it's not my fault.
Man. KJ's got it. It ain't no big deal. There ain't nothing going on around that's going to give him any problem. He just sit there and ride, and it's all in the bag.
It's like what you can't say. I think you can't say no-hitter in baseball.
Yeah, I'm not all into that superstition. I just call it like I see it.
There'll be 7 laps left for KJ this time with the line. Had to battle back after losing, pretty much losing his eyeballs for a second there. Contact with the 193. Had a car on top of him earlier on in the race.
I've had that happen before. My game just, computers and all that stuff like we do in simulation racing here. And you're on computers, and I've had my screen completely lock up. I can hear everything. I still hear my motor, but just a pro screen.
Mm-hmm. How terrifying is that, right? That's like
It is. One thing you don't want to do is create a wreck or tear somebody else's car up or ruin their night. And when that happens, you know, you're at the mercy of the hoping that you're out away from everybody and nobody else gets damaged from it.
I know the couple times that I've had that happen before. I feel worse about that. Like if I make contact with someone, I think that's probably that's the common thing about most people, right? Okay, my car is destroyed, whatever. But if I hurt someone else's race, it always feels pretty bad.
I always feel bad about it that, you know, something like that happens. I don't care if my stuff gets tore up if it happens, but I just don't want to ruin somebody else's.
Four laps to go this time at the line for KJ, coming up on these lap cars. On P's and Q's right now.
Yep, all he's doing is just riding, not pushing, just making laps, waiting until the end of it.
I was just told that you better care if your stuff gets tore up. Told by the boss.
I really don't want to know what difference it actually makes, because the stuff I've got is some of Ricky J's old wreck stuff that he's already tore up that I've just welded and pieced back together. So, you know, it's not like I'm tearing up something new.
2 laps to go this time at the line.
If I need a car for a race, I just go out into Ricky J's scrap pile out there and start gathering stuff up, put one together.
He's torn up a lot of them this year, so you got a bunch of new parts in that pile.
I do. I do. I got a whole lot of new parts that I can work with for my races.
He's going to go back and watch this, and he's going to be like, I was literally out of this race. How were you guys making fun of me this week? Coming to the line off of turn number 4. White flag going to be in the air. KJ, 1 lap to go here from Texas. Well, it has been a season that at times has been boom or bust. It's been a lot more boom for the driver of the 029. Coming off of turn number 4 for the somethingeth bunch of times here this year. It's going to be Kilojoules winning it here from Texas.
Yep, OKJ gets her done, even with the little bit of drama that happened there several laps ago. He was able to hold her together and work his way back to the front, hit his pit stops, and put that baby back in victory lane.
Another trophy in the trophy case. Continuing a dominant season. Starts wrecking after the race. But KJ gonna get to burn it down here in Texas.
Oh, Herman Reese brought her home in 3rd.
Another good run for Herman. Second, 3rd place finish in a row.
Hey, Mike Coulon up there in 2nd. Look at him.
He's had a lot of really good speed this year. And it seems like some weeks they're able to put it together like they were tonight, and some weeks it kind of wanes on them. But guy that's had all the speed this year with his 8th victory is KJ. We'll be talking with him and Mike Coulon and Herman Reese here momentarily. Can't thank you folks enough for tuning in tonight. Make sure if you haven't already, click the like button and subscribe to us here on JTN. We can't thank you enough as always. And Brian, a very, very big thank you to you and Kathy and all folks at Voiles Trucking for your support of us here on JTN and, of course, the Bomb Squad Racing League and the Cup Series.
It's always great to be able to help and support something you love, and racing with these guys and doing what we've been doing here for years. And it's just something that's you just can't put words on it, man. It's remarkable what we're able to do here, and we were so fortunate to be able to run across you and get you in here and putting our Thursday night Cup races, on TV, so we can go back for years and years and all these great memories here.
Well, it's been a lot of good memories, and we're gonna let's make some memories here in a second. Let's go ahead. Let's start by, because I saw he bolted to the media center. He's driver number 73. Always in luxury in that Cadillac. Herman Reese. Herman, you got a copy?
Go ahead. I got you, Joe.
Hey, third place again this week. There's no disappointment in that, right? I think that's kind of your softball question.
Well, yeah, there's disappointment. I was doing some test stuff and I didn't test properly, and I kind of screwed myself there, and worked on it all night, and very fortunate to come home third. Had a horrible pit stop and then had a great pit stop, made up a bunch of time, but in the end it came down to track position. And where you were, I pitted at one time from up on the front row because I had a feeling we were going to go long green there, and I was going to be good on gas. And then we went like 2-3 laps and had the caution. It kind of blew my whole strategy there, and I was stuck in the back. But all in all, what a great race. I mean, a lot of fun. Must have been fun to watch.
A lot of fun to watch. And how much those green flag pit stops, how much does that kind of put the race back into your hands after the strategy kind of going awry?
Well, it depends. You got to, sometimes you make your strategy on the fly and watch your gas and your tires. And there's a great deal of luck. You have when you pit and you come out, you got to hope that you grab somebody you can get their draft and helps you out. The green flag pit stops really separate the field. There's so many guys that had bad luck tonight. The 22 car had probably one of the fastest cars and just had multiple infractions on pit road and took him right out of the race. And that happened to the 103, the 03, the 66. They all had problems on pit road, and that ended. So you have to be flawless. It's kind of, you're trying to get all you can get without getting too much, driving by a cop at 56 when it's 55 kind of thing.
You ever gotten pulled over for doing 56 and a 55?
Never.
See, maybe we need to talk with these pit road officials. But Herman, congratulations, third place run here tonight. Before we let you go, floor is yours. You're a pro. You know what to do.
Thanks. Thanks to Bomb Squad Racing. I get to come over here on invite, occasionally and have some fun with these guys. And it was a good race tonight. And congrats to KJ and to Mike. And thank you guys for broadcasting and putting on. I can go back and watch it later and have a good time. And for all the drivers, I mean, it was a fun race, and I enjoyed myself. And hopefully I can move up next week, and I'll come to you in second, or better.
Well, let's hope for a victory. Let's not sell yourself short. I think that victory, Charlotte, you're good there, right?
Yeah, that's a good track for me. I'll tell you, it could be the fact that these leather seats in this Cadillac are just so damn comfortable. I'm sleeping. I don't know if you witnessed on the second restart, I about busted my can down pit road there with the wrong gear change, and very fortunate to recover, and nobody got damaged in that. But we're going to go. I had a good week this week with the Cadillacs, several victories, and now a third place finish over here. So it's been all in all a good week.
Well, we'll talk with the shop, get you a new insert there so you're not falling asleep at the wheel, Herman. Congratulations on the third place run, and thanks for talking with us.
All right, 10-4. Thanks. You guys have a great night.
Herman Reese, driver number 73, your third place finisher here tonight. Let's go ahead and next bring in our winner. He's the driver of the 029. He's BSR Killjewels. KJ, I'm not even going to apologize to you for bringing you in mid-sentence because, man, 8 wins on the year. How'd you do it?
Wrecking Ricky? Yeah. I'm really not that proud of this one, Joe, based off what happened there under caution. I didn't have the best car tonight. This one kind of just fell in my lap. I told you before, you can't be the best car all the time. You got to have some luck. And I got a lot of luck tonight, and a lot of people that were in front of me had problems or made mistakes. So win's a win. I'll take it. But, yeah, definitely didn't have the best car tonight.
I was going to say, when you saw the 03 have the issues that he did, how did you change the way you were driving? Because at that point you had a pretty big gap back to what was third and what became second.
Well, before that, I was racing with Herman, and we were coming back through the field, racing everybody down, and then we had that pit stop, and me and Herman got separated, and we were on a little bit different strategy. We were going longer than I think Danny and Mike were. And then I got hooked up with Mike, and we were catching Danny a little bit, and then I kind of lost Mike the next pit stop, and Danny had draft help, so I thought I was pretty much done. He had 2 cars, and I think he slid through the box or something and only got 2 tires. That's like what I was talking a while ago. I got lucky a little bit. Everybody kind of made a mistake, and it kind of just fell into me having the lead there. But once Danny had that problem, I had a big enough gap on Mike. I could kind of just pace what they were doing, and I could finally get that damage fixed that last pit stop too. So I ran it as long as I could, took 4 tires and got the damage fixed. And luckily I came back out with some cars, so I had draft help. So I really didn't have to push it at the end. I just kind of rode behind people and managed the gap. I seen them catching me, but luckily there wasn't enough laps for them to get back up to me.
Well, how were you worried about one of those late race restarts too? Because these last couple of weeks, these wins haven't been the easiest to come and get.
Anytime you got the lead into the race, if you hear anybody say caution, it kind of gets your nerves a little bit. So I heard people saying they were spinning or something was going on. I come around turn 2 and I seen smoke. I figured there was a caution coming. I come off turn 4 and I seen a car going through the grass. I was worried about it because I really did not want to restart. The car just didn't have any speed the first 10 to 15 laps. I don't know what really happened to it from practice. Maybe I got a little bit of ghost damage or something from that Ricky contact with Ricky. But the car just became really tight on corner entry, and I couldn't really get down to the corner, and it was making it a little free on the exit because the front end would finally bite, and then it would turn. But, yeah, I was worried about it. I kind of thought we'd have one. Sometimes at the end of these races, everybody gets on old tires, and somebody has to make an extra pit stop, and the closing rate at some of these tracks is so crazy. You can kind of just run over people or make a mistake on cold tires. I was kind of just managing that gap there, really praying there wasn't a caution, and luckily there wasn't one.
Well, no mistakes late, driving it into victory lane for the 8th time this year, KJ. Congratulations. Before I let you go, though, floor is yours. You know what to do.
Yeah, first off, Joe, I want to apologize to Ricky. I had the game froze or something, and I couldn't see anybody. Normally when that happens, I just go up towards the wall and try to get out of everybody's way, but apparently everybody can still see me. So I just drove right through Ricky. I don't know how that looked on the broadcast, but I'm pretty sure it looked bad because when I came back, all I seen was Voiles trucking in my windshield. So it's a good sponsor plug by Brian right there. Yeah, all I see was Voiles trucking. But that was a good race. It started off kind of messy. Cleaned up their long green flag run to end the race. A lot of pit stops. You get those. A lot of people make mistakes like what happened tonight, and then a lot of people get good finishes just by not making mistakes. Mike had a good car tonight. Mike was probably a little better than me. Mike keeps running like that. He will get his win at some point. Herman had a good car. I think Herman finished 3rd. Thanks to Brian and Kathy Voiles of Voiles Trucking for sponsoring Thursday, like always. Magoo and all of the admins at BSR for everything they do each and every week for us. Teammates had a good run tonight. Ricky was good until I killed him. Matt had a good car tonight, but Danny probably had the best car, and he had the best track position and the best strategy. He just had some issues there. But that was a good race. I will take the win any way I can get it. This season is kind of going. Everything's kind of just falling into my lap right now. I don't want to jinx it by saying that, but it's like I'm pretty much winning them any way you can win them. I don't really want to lead a lot. I just kind of want to be there at the end. So that's kind of what I'm doing. And it seems to be working so far. And I also want to give a shout out to my wife, Jessica. She was watching the end of it. She gave me a text like always. So say thanks to her for watching. And that's pretty much it. Thanks for broadcasting tonight. I haven't said that yet. But thanks to JTM for broadcasting the race tonight. I'll go back and watch it here in a little bit and see how that looked on the replay screen. Because, yeah, I kind of want to see what happened because I couldn't see anything on my end. But that's pretty much it, Joe. And I'll see you next week.
Hey, it's going to be a fun one next week in Charlotte. And if you want to jump to that wreck first before you start watching the whole thing through, you can go to 37 minutes and 12 seconds about there. Because I did write down the time because I wanted it for something. So, KJ, though, congratulations. Okay. 8th win on the year. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us.
I'm glad you got the timestamp already, Joe. So I appreciate that.
Listen,
now I got to hunt it down.
Listen, I got to make content, right? That's good content. It's good content. KJ, congratulations, and thank you so much for talking with us.
Thank you, Joe.
BSR Kilojoules, your winner here tonight from Texas. Let's go ahead and bring in driver number 199, the Velocity Garage Chevrolet BSR. Mike Coulong. Mike, you got a copy?
I got a copy.
Hey, we've talked about the speed you and this 199 team have had. It's been kind of hit or miss with the finishes, but tonight's second place run, how's it feel? And how does it feel to just have all the speed that you and this team do right now?
I'm happy. I'm happy. We've been putting in a lot of work, me and some of my teammates, to work on these setups to try to make them better. And we found some speed. My setups are maybe a tad more conservative than some of my competitors, but I try to build the long run sets that'll be good on the long run. Basically, trying to carry the right pace early so it'll be faster at the end.
Well, I think you drove such a smart race here tonight. Didn't make any moves that kind of put you at a disadvantage. We saw early on you dropped back a little bit. How hard is that to do behind the wheel of the car, to not push the issue when you maybe lose some of those spots early on in the race, and then, obviously you gained them all back finishing second?
Yeah, it's very hard at times, because when people are passing you, you just want to go and kind of see the red mist, but you have to just kind of bite your lip a little bit and say, I'm just going to pace. I'm going to run this certain amount of throttle through the center of the turns, and then I pay for it. The second to last run, I paced way too fast, and it hurt me at the end of that run. The last run, I was a little bit slower at my pace at the beginning, but it helped me kind of pull away to hold that second place at the end.
That's a great lead-in, because the next question I was going to ask, that last run, what adjustments did you make to kind of fix that pacing issue that you had the previous run?
Just the nut behind the wheel, because the setup was good. I actually honestly didn't change anything, because it was close to a full fuel run. So I just controlled my pace better. And that, because Herman behind me, he gained maybe second and a quarter, second and a half on me the first 6, 7, 8 laps of the run. I was still just going to hold my pace running the bottom. Then at the end, you saw I was able to pull back a little bit and get a little more separation.
Well, a fantastic run tonight, Mike. Second place finish. Incredibly strong to be able to do that, because I don't think I could ever do that. If I saw the guy closing in on me, I would try to go faster, but kept to your strategy, kept to your mindset, got you a second place finish. Congratulations on that. And before we let you go, floor is yours. Friends, family, sponsors, you know what to do. Floor is yours, buddy.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to thank my sponsor, Velocity Garage, and AJ Snyder. He's been a great sponsor for me, supported me even in my autocross and SCCA racing days. But I thank my teammates that helped me work on setups. Also, thank to Brian and Kathy Voiles for sponsoring this series and some of the broadcast stuff. For Magoo for all he does for Bomb Squad Racing. I greatly appreciate that. And everybody for racing clean. It's a really good group to race with.
A fantastic group to race with, a fantastic race to watch, Mike. Congratulations on the second place run here tonight, and thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us.
Thank you very much.
He's driver 199. He's your second place finisher tonight in the Velocity Garage Chevrolet, Mike Coulomb. Yeah, folks, that's it. Brian, you still there? What if you had to sum up the race in a word or two? How would you sum it up?
It's Texas, baby.
That it was indeed a fantastic race tonight, folks. We cannot thank you enough for tuning in. If you liked what you saw and you're new around these parts, make sure you hit the subscribe button. You click the bell icon, you'll be notified anytime we go live. Our next live broadcast is this Saturday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Shetner Customs Truck Series from Bristol. Bristol's always a good show because he's a good boy. 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time again Saturday night. Our next Bomb Squad Racing event, of course, is going to be next Thursday, the Charlotte Motor Speedway, 9:05 p.m. Eastern. It's your permanent home for the Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series right here on JTN. Can't thank all the fine folks at Voiles Trucking, Brian and Kathy Voiles, for all they do for not only the folks here at Bomb Squad, but for their sponsorship of us here on JTN, for helping us come out to the tracks and put on these fine shows for you folks at home. With all that being said, though, for Bristol, our producer, for our special guest tonight, Brian Voiles, I've been Joe Twansky. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time right here live on JTN. So long for now, folks. Yeah, and they're going to be 3 wide coming to the checkered. Never mind, they're going to be... Oh! Turn 4 into the trioval, Whitehill in through the grass. It's going to be Noah Joyce winning his first career race in the Red Bull Cup Series.
Off the line and they're wrecking behind him. We have cars flying everywhere. Cars upside down, it doesn't matter. Noah Joyce has done it. He's won it
side-by-side again. Contact there between Sinner and Bordeaux for
Oh, the
third.
contact! Oakley into the wall. That's going to be Jack Healy coming to the line.
Jack Healy wins the ride to